Welcome to The Explainer. If you or someone you love has recently been diagnosed with breast cancer, you are likely navigating just an absolute whirlwind right now. Between the flurry of appointments, the intense emotions, and all that dense medical information, it can feel incredibly overwhelming. Completely exhausting, really. But today, our goal is to just take a breath. We want to bring you a sense of clarity, comfort, and most importantly, empowerment. We're going to dig specifically into the research surrounding nutrition and lifestyle after a diagnosis. Think of this as an encouraging step-by-step guide to understanding how the food you eat and the way you live can actively support your recovery and your overall well-being. To make this super manageable, here's our roadmap for today. First, taking control after diagnosis. Number 2, the plant-based plate. 3, the power of healthy fats. 4, whole foods over supplements. And finally, beyond the plate. So let's jump straight into section 1, taking control after diagnosis. Because when a breast cancer diagnosis happens, it is entirely normal to feel like your world has been flipped completely upside down. That sense of control, it feels like it's just vanished. But in the research we reviewed, thousands of women with breast cancer echo this exact, really powerful sentiment. I want to do something for myself. And for many, diet becomes exactly that. It's this powerful, tangible, daily tool that you actually have complete control over. Understanding nutrition and making good food choices isn't just busy work. It's widely viewed by experts as a vital step in your recovery, lowering the risk of recurrence and benefiting your overall health. It is quite literally a way of reclaiming your agency. But, oh man, almost immediately, that desire to take control is met with an absolute avalanche of advice, isn't it? Drink carrot juice, cut out all sugar, eat tofu. Wait, no, don't eat tofu. It is completely natural to be confused by the massive amount of choices and well-meaning but totally conflicting advice thrown at you. In this explainer, we are going to cut straight through all of that noise. We're focusing entirely on what the actual proven clinical research and nutrition guidelines recommend for you right now. No fads, just facts. Okay, moving right along to section 2, the plant-based plate. Let's see how this translates into highly practical, everyday advice, starting with the food you sit down to eat every single day. Now, hearing plant-based diet might sound a bit intimidating, but it doesn't mean you have to become a strict, militant vegan overnight and throw out everything in your fridge. It's really just about proportions. Imagine your dinner plate right now. You want to aim to fill about 50%, literally half of that plate, with colorful vegetables and fruits. Then, a quarter of your plate goes to protein, and that final quarter is dedicated to whole grains or starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes. This simple visual, that is your anchor for mealtime. And when building out that 50% vegetable half, I want you to shift your mindset. Think about addition, not subtraction. Think about all the vibrant, delicious, cancer-fighting foods you get to enthusiastically add to your meals. The research strongly highlights foods rich in phytonutrients. These are basically the superpowers of the plant world. You're going to want to add cruciferous veggies like broccoli, kale, and cabbage. Bring in brightly colored berries, sweet potatoes, and pomegranates. And for your grains, just swap out the refined white carbs for things like quinoa, barley, and brown rice. These are the foods that provide the heavy-hitting fiber, vitamins, and minerals your body deeply needs to heal and thrive. All right, section 3, the power of healthy fats. Now, what's really interesting here is how we approach the fats in your meals. Because for a long time, fat was treated like the ultimate enemy. But the truth is, the type of fat matters immensely. The sources highlight the Mediterranean diet as this remarkably protective dietary pattern. It perfectly mirrors that plant-based plate we just talked about, but it places a really special emphasis on healthy fats, particularly extra virgin olive oil. So why does this matter so much for breast cancer? Well, clinical trials actually show that the anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties of this specific diet help reduce pain, improve your physical functioning, and significantly boost your overall quality of life during breast cancer care. It's like giving your body a tool to help manage the unpleasant side effects of both the disease and the treatments. Practically speaking, you just want to shift the balance in your kitchen. Limit the saturated animal fats, the butter, the whole milk, the fatty meats. Instead, intentionally swap in plant-based monounsaturated fats. We're talking extra virgin olive oil, walnuts, chia seeds, and ground flax seeds. In fact, adding just 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed a day is an incredibly easy, safe way to boost your healthy fat and fiber intake. It's a real game changer. Let's move to section 4, whole foods over supplements. And I need you to lean in for this one because we are addressing a very specific and honestly pretty surprising warning about dietary supplements during treatment.
When you get a cancer diagnosis, the immediate instinct is often to rush out and buy every vitamin and antioxidant pill on the shelf to boost your immune system, right? But the science says we need to hit the brakes. In a major clinical trial conducted by the SWOG Cancer Research Network, this involved over 1,000 patients. Researchers found something startling. Taking antioxidant supplements, both before and during chemotherapy, actually increased the risk of breast cancer recurrence by 41%. 41%! It also increased the risk of mortality by 40%.
The concern here is that specific, highly concentrated antioxidant supplements, things like vitamins A, C, and E, as well as coenzyme Q10, can actually protect cancer cells from the very chemotherapy treatments that are designed to destroy them. Now, quick caveat. The study did find that taking a standard, everyday multivitamin didn't show the same risk. But those high-dose, targeted antioxidant pills during chemo, they are highly, highly discouraged by the experts. But this actually brings us to a really brilliant and comforting rule of thumb. While antioxidant supplements in pill form are risky during treatment, getting those exact same antioxidants naturally from a balanced diet of whole foods is entirely safe. In fact, it is highly recommended. You don't need a vitamin C pill. You just need a juicy orange. You don't need a vitamin A pill. You need a baked sweet potato. By eating a colorful, balanced diet, you can safely give your body all the nutrients it needs without interfering with your chemo. Finally, Section 5, Beyond the Plate. Let's zoom out for a second to look at the broader lifestyle picture, because what you put on your fork is really just one piece of a larger puzzle. The research is crystal clear on this. Combining a healthy diet with physical activity and weight management offers the absolute greatest impact on reducing recurrence and improving survival. Think of it as a three-legged stool. First, eat that plant-based or Mediterranean diet we've been talking about. Second, be physically active. And hey, this doesn't mean you need to start training for a marathon. The guidelines suggest something as manageable as walking for 3 to 5 hours a week. That's just a nice daily stroll. And third, aim to achieve and maintain a healthy body weight, which the guidelines define as a body mass index between 18.5 and 24.9. Together, these 3 steps form this powerful, holistic shield for your long-term health. Which brings us to the very end of our explainer, and I want to leave you with one simple question to think about. What is one small, gradual change you can make to your plate today? Remember, you absolutely do not have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Honestly, that's just too much pressure. Maybe today you just swap out a side of white rice for a side of broccoli. Maybe tomorrow you use a little olive oil on your salad instead of a heavy cream-based dressing. Every single positive step counts, and you absolutely have the power to make them. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I really hope this gives you the focus, the comfort, and the confidence you need moving forward. You've got this.